Friday as well, gentlemen. The Chiefs and Chargers facing off in Brazil. Now, in their last game at Arrowhead, that was Week 14, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert both accounted for a passing touchdown. However, it was the Chiefs who came out on top, 19-17. They clinched their 9th straight AFC West title. Unbelievable. It's been rough outings the last time we saw both of these quarterbacks. Mahomes didn't look like himself. He threw 2 interceptions in the Chiefs' Super Bowl loss against the Eagles, while Justin Herbert threw 4 INTs in the Chargers' wildcard loss against the Texans. 4 INTs. Dan, who needs to get to a great start more? Is it Mahomes or Herbert?
Patrick Mahomes. In one expectation, Patrick Mahomes is warranted and earned the right to be in conversations that very few have gotten into. All-time greats. Molly, you just talked about, and I said post-Super Bowl is the worst game that I had seen Patrick play. So he's coming off of a game that he just struggled mightily. Third thing is, this offense for the past 2 years, and like football team for the past 2 years, in many ways been carried by their defense in Kansas City. It just has been. Objectively, the defense has been the better unit than the offense. So there is a little bit of, not in my eyes, to be clear, not in my eyes, but I do think in the public's eyes, in some way, there's a little bit of shine off of it. There's a little bit of tarnish off of it. There's a little bit of like, you guys were a facade at 15-1 last year in the games that you tried to win, and you finally ran into a dominant defense and they smoked you in the Super Bowl, and you're not Tom Brady, and you don't belong to be or deserve to be in the conversation with Tom Brady, and your defense has carried you for 2 years. So I do think it's important. All the conversation we've heard in Kansas City, the deep ball is back. They invest a first-round pick in a left tackle. The offensive line's a little bit remade again. They've got a lot of weapons on the outside that can go vertical now. I think it's important for Patrick and this offense to come hit the ground running and say, this is a new version of us, and that Super Bowl, while it happened, it's not who we're going to be moving forward.
With extraordinary accomplishment comes extensive tolerance, and that's what Patrick Mahomes has for me. I don't really care how well Patrick Mahomes plays in this game. You know why? Because I've seen him be the best quarterback in the world in so many moments that matter, that what Patrick Mahomes does in the first week of the season is just the first week of the season for me. For Justin Herbert, right, this dude that we crown a top 10 quarterback, this person that his own coach says everybody else needs to raise their level of play in order to be in the position that he's in. You're talking about the last time Patrick Mahomes played? I know you watch a lot of film. You probably watch so much film and you didn't backlog so much stuff. You probably pushed away what Justin Herbert looked like against the Texans.
It was bad.
You probably thought that to myself, there ain't no way Justin Herbert threw more interceptions in one playoff game than he did the entire season. Not Mr. I could throw a football through a pinhole. Not him. Not look how tall he is. Look at his flowing locks. Look who his new girlfriend is, right? Not that guy. Justin Herbert, whenever it matters, has been terrible. Justin Herbert didn't win big games in college as talented as he was. Justin Herbert in 2 games in the playoffs in the league. You lose a 27-0 lead. You go throw 4 interceptions against the Texans. I think Justin Herbert is extremely talented. I also think Justin Herbert is the fun friend, right? Justin Herbert is the friend you invite over when you're having a party. If something serious is happening, you don't bring him over because he's not responsible, accountable, and you can't depend on him.
Let me ask you this before you jump in. But it sounds like your expectations for Justin are very low in general.
No, it's not about what I expect from Justin Herbert. It's the fact that I need to see him prove to me that he can get off to a big start against a good team. I need to see him be consistent through a year and finish. It's not about what my level of expectation is. It's that no matter what I expect from Patrick Mahomes, I'm going to be comfortable with whatever he is because he's proven to me what he can be when time is needed.
All right.
Because Jim Harbaugh is the adult in the room. Jim Harbaugh is 5-0 in regular season openers. Jim Harbaugh is used to turning around programs and getting the most out of people. I think that he's going to do that there. They're expecting that. It's up to him to get Justin Herbert up to the next level. Him and Greg Roman, I think they could do that.
That diatribe that RC just threw out was so damn good, I don't think I should say anything, but I'm going to try. Now, here's the deal. You got a guy in Justin Herbert that a lot of people look at. You got to remember, you attach him and Tua Tagovailoa to the same, in the same sentence because Miami had that pick and, obviously Brian Flores and those guys. Yeah. Justin Herbert is the way we should have gone, not Tua, who obviously has been hampered with concussions and stuff like that. So we get that part. But Justin Herbert threw 3 interceptions and 504 pass attempts. Okay? He's got a 1.5 interception percentage rate. But he goes in a playoff game and he throws 4 interceptions. 4. he's also the guy that had a 27-point lead against Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville a couple of years back and surrendered it.
Y'all
okay? Listen,
If Lamar Jackson did that,
y'all know it.
We'd be all
Crush
over.
him.
We'd be
Y'all
all
know
over.
it. Y'all know it. You're y'all. You know it. You know
We're wrong. We're wrong.
Yeah.
What are we wrong about? What are we wrong about? The fact is, excuse me, who needs a great start more? You trying to tell me a 3-time Super Bowl champion who's been to 5 Super Bowls and has already proven his greatness needs to prove something in game 1 of an NFL season more than a dude that the last time we saw him, he threw more interceptions in one game than he did the entire damn season?
Yes.
Make that make sense.
Okay, we got 2 minutes, so let him respond.
Who are your AFC favorites? Give me the top 3 teams in the AFC in your eyes right now.
Baltimore, Kansas City, and Buffalo.
So if the Kansas City Chiefs quarterback goes out and struggles, and let's say in those struggles that football team loses, what will be the number one thing talked about after week 1 of the NFL season?
That is not the point. That is not the point.
The question is not who will talk about more tomorrow.
Who's more pressure on?
Yeah,
who needs
we're
a great start more?
We're going to talk about Patrick Mahomes because it's going to rate higher.
Guys,
who needs a great start
why
more?
will it rate higher? Because
he's better.
Exactly. It's the expectation of performance.
Excuse me, it's one game. You're trying to tell me you're going to be worried about the Kansas. Let me ask you this question. You're going to be worried about the Kansas City Chiefs if Patrick Mahomes goes out there and doesn't have a great game. But if Herbert doesn't have a great game, it's going to be the same. If Herbert doesn't have a great game, we're going to be very worried about the Chargers. Ain't nobody going to be worried about Patrick Mahomes after one game.
So I literally said, this is not a me thing. It's a public perception thing. One, Herbert's left tackle is gone. Rashawn Slater is one of the game-changing left tackles in football. So more than likely, he'll be under a little bit more of duress, pressured bodies. If Patrick Mahomes struggles, coming off of the Super Bowl, coming off of a season when the offense was pedestrian and was carried by defense, okay? And then struggles in week 1, and it looks bad again, that will be a big deal. They are a favorite to go back to.
I am saying to you, first of all, you got to pick your choice. Because first of all, you're saying it wasn't you. But you were the one reclined in your chair, having everything
because
but my
you're wrong,
shades
because
on,
I'm
sitting there
honest
talking
about
about RC and me are wrong. Hell, what do you mean you're honest about
Stephen
it, but we're
A.
not?
Stephen A.
Justin Herbert is under less pressure to perform in game 1 than Patrick Mahomes?
Yes.
Are you crazy?
Patrick
a 3-time Super Bowl champion.
Not in game 1.
In game 1?
Not in game 1, Dan.
Let me make it very general. Every quarterback in the league in week 1 is under pressure.
Not every quarterback's Patrick
Every
Mahomes.
Quarterback.
Not every quarterback's
Dak Prescott, Jalen
Levels.
Hurts, Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes.
But the other thing is this, though.
Pretty damn similar.
My point is this.
Similar.
If I'm Andy Reid, his head coach, if I'm Matt Nagy, Patrick Mahomes' offensive coordinator, and Patrick Mahomes doesn't have a great game, I'm not walking into the building on Saturday panicking.
I agree.
Right? I'm not in that building saying, what are we going to do? How will we ever have a great quarterback? Because period, point blank, he's one of the greatest that has ever played. And that's not over a short period of time.
Right.
That's over an extensive career where every season has at least gotten to the AFC Championship. Patrick Mahomes doesn't need a great start.
I disagree.
Justin Herbert does.
I disagree.
So you think if Patrick Mahomes doesn't start well, he can't fix it?
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is this is a team offensively that was pedestrian last year. And there was many reasons why. Worst game you've ever seen them play in the Super Bowl, fair to say, or one of them. Patrick's the best player that I've ever seen. He is in a rare air of conversation. If he goes out and struggles, I think there is going to be a much greater conversation than if Justin Herbert does. I think there's going to be a lot more attention paid to it.
Dan, entering his 6th season, the man is 41-38 without a single playoff win. And you're saying that somebody who's a 3-time Super Bowl champion,
I can't help you.
who's 5 trips to the Super Bowl, 6 or 7 trips to the well, every year he's been a starter, he's been in the AFC Championship game. That dude, if game one of an NFL season doesn't perform up to snuff, we need to be more concerned about him than Justin Herbert.
We will be, and you know it.
No, we won't.
Y'all are proving my point.
You're saying because the standard is higher for him and he draws more attention.
1,000%. And he's earned that.
And you know what?
You know what else he's earned? He's earned for me to say, like, I'm smart enough to know if the offensive line was as bad as it was against the Philadelphia Eagles, Patrick Mahomes still found a way for that team to be good enough to beat a very good Buffalo Bills team with an MVP in the AFC Championship.
If the Chiefs lose the opener against the Chargers, the chances are they're going to be just fine. And let's not forget, the Chiefs' biggest hole, the biggest weakness in recent seasons has been the offensive line, left tackle. They drafted Josh Simmons in the first round from Ohio State, a projected top 10 pick that fell to the Chiefs spot because he tore his patella tendon like Rashawn Slater did last year. The Chiefs get him where they get him, and now he looks like he may be the blindside protector for the rest of Patrick Mahomes' career.
If Patrick Mahomes don't play well, Dan's going to do a tape tomorrow about how everybody else was wrong on every interception. If he throw, if
it wasn't his fault.
Yeah, if he
wasn't his fault.
Yeah,
Same guy.
Yeah,
Same guy. That guy right there.
Yeah, if he throw 3 picks,
look at this.
Look at the pressure right here. This guy's not open. Patrick Mahomes, this isn't his fault.
Here's what I know. Here's what I know. That A block, midseason form, guys.